We start with the news that a member of Ghana's Cup of Nations bid team for the 2017 has criticised the Confederation of African Football over the lack of organisation transparency in the voting process. Randy Abbey alleged that voting was not fair and that CAF's inability to announce the result of the 14-member executive committee hints to a predetermined process. Gabon was chosen ahead of Ghana and Algeria to host the event. Though Abbey was unhappy about how the results of the vote were conducted, many Ghanaians took to social media to openly celebrate, claiming the country had too many problems to take on hosting the Cup of Nations. Joining us on Skype for the first time, joining us online from Accra to tell us more is the sports correspondent, Gary Al Smith. Gary, exactly what has Randy been saying?
Well, Randy Abbey was speaking to the biggest news outlet in Ghana, Joy FM, and he was saying just hours after the events that the procedures that CAF went through in the final minutes and the final hours of the AFCON draw were not good enough. According to him, the normal practice is that you have to know the winners of the draw and by how much they won, so that if it was 14 executive committee members, as was the case in Cairo, you have to know whether Gabon won by a clear majority of how much and how much. But according to him, this did not happen. The Confederation of African Football boss, Issa Hayatou, simply ignored the votes, didn't tell anybody how much Gabon won by. The votes were declared in favor of Gabon. And as we speak now, we still don't know what majority Gabon had to win the AFCON 2017 ballot.
Are his criticisms valid, or is it just sour grapes that Ghana lost out?
We would dismiss it as sour grapes, but in the last 24 hours, Algeria's sports minister has leveled almost similar allegations as well. And indeed, Randy Abbey had told us that the Algerians were going to complain, and they did. And the Algerian sports minister said pretty much the same thing. He said that they had given CAF too much respect over the last couple of years, and by every reckoning, he felt that Algeria should have won because of the strength of their bid. And from where I sit here as well, I mean, everybody has been raving about Algeria's bid for quite some time. So it was a surprise that at least, we didn't know by what margin they lost.
What is CAF's usual procedures in such cases, and did they follow them?
In the 2008 African Cup of Nations event, which Ghana won, Ghana and Libya were the final candidates. Ghana won by 9-3. The practice is that after the votes are taken from the executive committee, the count is made, the executive committee are told who the winner is, and then the distribution of votes is communicated clearly. That is what is done at FIFA level, that is what is done at South American level. In fact, in international football and international bidding for sports events, that's the usual practice. So from the two accounts, from the two bid members of Ghana and Algeria respectively, that seemed to suggest that this did not happen, then clearly it's in contravention of the rules. Two, we know for a fact that the criteria for this AFCON 2017 draw included this crucial fact that any country that put in a bid should have at least 4 completed stadia. But if you check the facts, Gabon have only 2 completed stadia, and they have said that they will complete the 2 more they will be using in the next 14 months, which means that if that were the case, Gabon should not have even been shortlisted in the first place. And this is where the interesting thing happened. According to the account and what we followed, usually the final bid countries will all be seated in one room. They will all be given access to each other to see what each bid country will do in terms of the final presentation. But this did not happen in Cairo. So what happened was that the bid countries, which is Algeria, Gabon, and Ghana, were put in one room. The executive committee were put in another room, and each country was called one after the other to come and present. Now, the argument by Ghana and Algeria is that CAF deliberately did this knowing that if Gabon had done their presentation with the other 2 countries available, the 2 countries would have objected immediately to it, which is why CAF did that. So you could see the procedural errors, and knowing CAF, unfortunately, I have to say that this is not too surprising.
Why do you think Gabon was chosen ahead of two countries that would say that they were more equipped to host the tournament?
Well, I don't think they are more equipped to host the tournament. I mean, if Equatorial Guinea were able to do it in 50 days, yes, you could put up a good argument that in 2017, which is about several months away, they'll be able to do it. However, strictly by the bidding procedure, I think that Gabon were not eligible to host the tournament. However, for political reasons, I think that Issa Hayatou has struck a good friendship with the president of Gabon, Ali Bongo Ondimba, because, as you know, when Equatorial Guinea decided to host the AFCON, Gabon, being a neighboring country for Equatorial Guinea, helped with a lot of logistics, helped with a lot of buses and some other material that Equatorial Guinea did not readily have. And so I think this is just payback for loyalty and for Gabon being, you know, an ally of CAF in the last couple of years.
Finally, we asked CAF for a response, to which Junior Binyam, the media officer, said that the Ghana FA president has thus not raised any of these allegations with CAF.
Well, typical. I mean, Algeria and Ghana haven't put their complaint in writing, and so per governance procedure and by official legally structures, he can't respond. But if that is his response, I think that then that leaves it to Ghana and Algeria at the moment to write an official letter to register their complaint. Otherwise, then they have to shut up.
Gary, thank you for speaking to Sports News Africa.